Welcome to the November 17th meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee, and it will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Dr. Carbone?
Here.
Mr. Delahanty?
Here.
Mr. Flagler-Mitchell?
Here.
Mr. Gamble?
Here.
Chairwoman Valerio?
Here. Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up who would like to speak before the committee at this time? There being none, I would like to move on to a special presentation, our annual surprise event with Kate Bennett from the Rochester Museum and Science Center. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. We're happy to be here. In a minute, I'm going to introduce my colleague to you, but I have in my hand the special demonstration, and I think because of the late hour, I'm not going to go totally through this, but you all know what this is. This is a target, and in my hand is a blowgun and a dart. And the reason I have it here is to remind you all of the great educational work we do with the collections that we have at the Rochester Museum and Science Center. We hold and trust 1.2 million objects that are, many of them owned in trust, held in trust for the community. In 1968, the county took over from the city the responsibility for caring for the Museum and Science Center. We had been an agency of the city. We became a county-funded institution at the same time as the zoo became a county-funded institution. And so we're very pleased to be here tonight talking about our work that we're doing. And since we have a fabulous frog exhibition at the museum right now, we thought a blowgun and a dart, which would be, if you were using it correctly, you would put the poison of Dendrobates frog on the dart, and then it could help you in your hunting. So I'm not going to demonstrate. Jeff Adair said,
Thank you.
I asked Jeff if, would you like me to demonstrate it? Okay. So I'm not going to have anybody hold this, but I'm going to do this very quickly. Shall I take an aim at the zoo mission? Goals, vision?
Just like the museum.
Wow. Very nice.
And I didn't hurt one word on that. I want you to know I missed all the words. But we have a lot of fun educating, but even more importantly at the museum, we take it very seriously, the responsibility that we have. And so I'm quite delighted that the county continues to fund us. It's very important. It's 14% of our budget. We are able to multiply the money that we get from the county in order to help us serve the 350 plus thousand people that we serve every year, the 40,000 school kids who have school visits. I want to introduce you today to Dan Minnelli, who is our new Chief Science Officer who came to the museum in March. He came from New York City area. He was Vice President at Liberty Science Center, which is the largest interactive science center in, come on over, Dan, in the Northeast. And what was terrific about Dan saying yes to coming to the museum is that we said in order to take this institution to the next level to help this county in STEM education, we really needed to step it up, find a person who was exceedingly engaged in science education. Dan's had 25 years in the classroom, and then he had years working at the Liberty Science Center. And so he was the perfect person to come to the museum and help us go to the next level. So he and I partnered together to make things come true. And the reason I brought the blowgun was that he put together a fabulous concept for the frogs exhibit, and I'm going to let him talk about that for just a minute, and then we're going to go back and forth between the two of us. Here, let me take the dart.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to be included this evening. This is a fantastic community to help operate a science museum. The technological legacy of Rochester, the diversity, the presence of the universities. It's very exciting work. The Frogs exhibition we chose purposefully because it had so many important meanings to us. We've integrated about 50 objects from our collections, of the several thousand from our own zoological vaults, and we were able to open up story spaces that are directly tied to the curriculum that many of the students in the city are following, including a third grade book on frogginess. We have live program spaces. We're really trying to think differently about exhibitions to create a space for every learner in every context, and we're really, really grateful for the feedback we're getting from the community.
So, you know, the county, the kids who come to us from the county and the families that come from to us are equally divided between the west side and the east side, and we really want you to know that. And in the next time we come talk to you, we will have more statistics to show you that that is happening. We spend a lot of time in the city working with the city students in the schools, but also we're very much about making sure that Spencerport is here, that Rush Henrietta is here, and we're making sure that we are serving all the parts of the county. One of the things that I've been able to get involved in more recently, you know, we had the Race Are We So Different exhibition 3 years ago. We said this is really important for us to continue on with. And so I am co-chair of the Facing Race, Embracing Equity, and working with leaders in the community to make sure that we are really making a difference and making equity a very important point. And so I got involved in the workforce parts of the Regional Economic Development Council, and we spend a lot of time now working on workforce, and in each exhibition that we create at the museum now, we have a specific workforce objective to let people know about middle skills jobs and what are the opportunities in the industries that are so important to Rochester's future. So, Dan, anti-poverty, I mean, we're working on all of these things and collections, and I'm grateful to have him here. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them, or Dan can. Look for more exciting things from the Museum and Science Center, and with your support, we can do many more things for the community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody want to try the blowgun?
Thank you very much.
What you should know is this is my personal blowgun. I know I have these things, so I'm going to donate it to the museum at the appropriate time. But we don't like to use our objects like this in public, so it was better that it was mine, and I just wanted you to know that.
Great.
But thank you very much.
Thank you for your wonderful service to our community. Okay. Now, I don't know if the next part of our meeting will be so much fun, but we have with us our wonderful Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Almost as fun as the previous demonstration. I appreciate the opportunity to present to you the 2016 proposed Monroe County budget as it pertains to the Rec and Ed committees. As with previous committee meetings, sorry to bore you or be repetitive, but I'd like to start with a little context, the overall 2016 budget. Monroe County's proposed budget is coming in at $1.174 billion. That's a decrease of about $7.9 million from the 2015 operating budget. The largest portion of our budget, the operating budget, is proposed to be $999.2 million. That's about $5 million less than the 2015 adopted budget. And overall, the 2016 proposed budget maintains the tax rate of $8.99 per thousand of full value. It reduces mandated spending by about $5 million. It reduces headcount across the county by 3.75 FTEs and complies with the Taxpayer Protection Act of 2007. And as it comes up from time to time, the 2016 budget does not change the definition or the composition of what constitutes a mandated service. Pertinent to the Rec and Ed Committee, appropriations across 5 different areas in the county. Most notably, our Parks Department, overall appropriations increase about $400,000. Maybe 25% of that, about $119,000, is related to debt service. The remaining increase are really spread across a variety of their divisions. Monroe Community College appropriations increasing about $250,000. You may recall the expense associated with Monroe Community College largely is in the county's sponsor contribution. That has increased $250,000 over last year's adopted number. It also, you may recall, Monroe County is financially responsible for paying out-of-tuition support for Monroe County kids who attend community college in another county. That has increased this year by about $300,000. Within our Department of Parks, again, I mentioned the appropriations increased by about $400,000, about 25% relates to debt service. That's, you'll find that in the administration division. I present to you the other divisions within Parks Department. Each division increased a little bit, not really notable or anything for me to comment over. I will, since I mentioned in other departments, Department of Parks is a little bit labor intensive. Roughly 54% of their budget appropriations are for salary and benefits. Just to give you a flavor of a couple things going on in the Department of Parks over 2016, you'll certainly see more in the budget book and through the maps to my side. Kind of neat. Our Parks Department is implementing a new mobile app for the County Parks Trail System. They're also beginning their design phase 1 improvements at Seneca Park Zoo. And they are completing master plans for Powder Mills Park and Highland Park South. Monroe Community College, again, contribution increasing $250,000. Out-of-county support was $4.7 million. That is increased by $300,000 to an even $5 million. And debt service is up a little, very little, about $23,000 or so. I believe you all are aware Monroe County financially supports the local library system, the Monroe County Library System, and we also have an agreement with the City of Rochester whereby we make a contribution to the Rochester Public Library Central Services. The library's budget for both the county library system and the Rochester Public Library were presented to the Public Library's Board of Trustees, I believe back in May, and also was presented to and passed by City Council over the summer. Last year there was a discussion regarding use of fund balance, so I just want to make a couple comments. The Monroe County Library System, we used some of their fund balance in 2015 to cover debt service. At that time it was about $244,000. The 2016 proposed budget, however, has Monroe County including the debt service in the tax levy. So we won't be using the library fund's debt service for that particular line item. On the Rochester Public Library side, Central Services, 2015, they used $250,000 of the fund balance, and this is really on the city's books, not the county's books. 2016, however, you'll notice appropriations are down by $100,000, as is the use of fund balance. We do have some other educational support in our budget. Monroe County funds both Cornell Cooperative Extension of Monroe County and the County Soil and Water Conservation District. These particular dollar amounts are unchanged from 2015, but I do want to point out, someone mentioned it in one of the committees last night, Cornell Cooperative Extension in 2016 proposed budget does have an allocation from the hotel motel tax. I think that was page 65 of the budget book. It's about $30,000. So really overall in 2016, support to Cornell Co-op Extension will be more like $255,000. Madam Chairwoman, with that concludes the presentation.
Thank you very much. At this time, are there any questions pertaining to recreation and education regarding the budget? Mr. Delahanty.
Yes, first I would like to thank both Kate Bennett and Bob Franklin for their presentations this evening. They're both very enlightening, and third time around, Bob, it gets better every time, so thank you. At this time, Madam Chairwoman, to the administration, I would like to see in writing by the next full legislature meeting in December the 2015 budget objectives that do not show up in the major accomplishments in 2016. And more specifically in the Parks Department, the stream bank stabilization at Powder Mills Park, create a publicly accessible GPS system for the Lilac Collection, implementation of the Ontario Beach Park Algae Management Project, construction of the master plan improvements at Powder Mills Park, the design of Mendon Ponds Park master plan improvements, and the design of the Churchville Park master plan improvements. Additionally, I would like to see under libraries the 2015 objective, expand on cultural program partnerships and events across promotion, increasing the MCLS and Central Library's contributions to community cultural dialogue. Recent program partnerships include MCC, the U of R, Nazareth College, Empire State College, Rochester Sister Cities, Writers and Books, Reconnect Rochester, and many other academic, arts, and community-based organizations. Thank you.
Any further questions? Mr. Flagler Mitchell.
All right, how you doing? Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Fine, thank you.
Through you to the administration, why is the zoo attendance expected to drop by 30,000 in 2016 versus 2015?
Through you, Madam Chair. In previous year, we were up for the opening of the new lion exhibit, and without a new opening, we anticipate that we'll have a slight drop going to 400,000 in 2016.
And also through you, Madam Chair, on page 312, why is personal service increasing by 266,000 in 2016?
Through you, Madam Chair, that reflects the increase of 2 full-time positions, a tree trimmer and a grounds equipment operator.
Okay. And also,
And we also had an increase in temporary help.
okay, and through you, Madam Chair, why is the Parks Department getting such a large share of the hotel motel tax?
Madam Chair, through you, a couple years ago, we started allocating hotel motel tax to the Department of Parks and have continued that each year. This year's proposed budget does see an increase of $200,000. Consistent with the past couple years, we've chosen to use that money to support operations at Seneca Park Zoo.
No further questions? Mr. Gamble?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excuse me. Through the chair to the administration, the Monroe County Association is set to receive $0. Is the funding for the Northampton Fair included in the Parks Department funding?
Through you, Madam Chair, there is no funding in the Parks Department budget for the Monroe County Fair. That's a separate entity, and we are merely, in past years, served as a host site for that function. There's no allocation in our budget for that.
Thank you. Also, Madam Chair, I have another question. Through the chair, how does the golf fees compare to other public courses in the area? Is there any room for increase? Did the uses of the golf course in 2015 meet our expectations?
Through you, Madam Chair, as you know, Legislator Gamble, this is our first year of taking back the golf courses, and I have to say that I believe there's been universal praise for that decision that this legislature and this administration made, and for the department's management of these courses. They are much improved from a aesthetic standpoint and from a play standpoint. I do believe that there is room for growth in golf fees in future years, but as we continue to reestablish ourselves as an entity in the Monroe County and regional golfing community, we want to welcome people back, and we believe that the current prices help us achieve that goal. There is room. We are on the low side for golf, as many people know, but you know that brings out the type of golfer that these parks golf courses were created for: youth, seniors, disabled, and people who can't afford to join country clubs. So we have seen this year, and we continue to see, I'm pleased to report, because of the weather, 2 of our golf courses are still open, Genesee Valley and Churchville, and we plan to have them open through Thanksgiving, which is a first in 17 years. They usually close around November 1st. And we anticipate that at the end of the season, we'll see an increase in rounds over previous years. So we think that we're offering a good product. We're offering it at a good price. We want to get those golfers who went to other places in previous years back And after that, after we've reestablished these courses and as destinations, I think that would be the time to look at the pricing. But we also have some dynamic pricing in there where you provide me with the ability to offer specials. And through our new pros, we have explored going to, if there's a few tee times still open, a couple hours from a certain time on a web-based program, offering a discount on those because, if the time passes, those are rounds that are never going to get played. And if you can get them played at a discount, that's better than never being played. So, I think we've got a lot of tools at our disposal, and I really think that these courses are showing great improvement, not only from their physical nature, but from bringing people back to them.
Thank you. Through the chair, to the administration, I'd like to applaud you for all the efforts that you're putting forth to regain the confidence of the county residents in our county golf courses. I've sat before this committee on numerous of times when we got bludgeoned to death about the conditions and the prior operators and what was not happening. It's nice to see that we're taking initiatives to try to bring people back closer to home and enjoy the sport that they love. And I'd like to applaud your department for that.
Thank you, thank you, Legislator Gamble. I really appreciate your enthusiasm for the sport and for these courses, and I appreciate the support that the legislature gave us and the confidence they gave us in taking these courses back last year.
Thank you. Through the chair, I have one question. Why is the personal costs going up by $92,000, though, 17% in 2016? I know we're making all these improvements. Please give me a good reason, sir.
Through you, Madam Chair, is that in the golf budget?
Yes. It's on page 328.
Through you, Madam Chair, that accounts for some step increases of employees that were brought in at the low end, and also part-time and seasonal assistants. We've really tried to operate these courses with mainly part-time and seasonal help. We have a superintendent at each course. We have a superintendent of golf who oversees all three, but we have 3 individual superintendents, and then we have 2 full-time mechanics. And after that, it's all part-time. So we're running lean and mean.
Thank you very, very much. Madam Chair, I just have one other thing to say. It's been an honor to be on your committee for my duration since I've been here. I'd like to thank the administration for their due diligence in providing us the information that we request the majority of the time, and the cooperation you have extended to our side and when we ask. It's been a pleasure to be working with these fine, outstanding people, and I look forward to the next batch of legislators doing the same thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I wasn't going to get emotional tonight. Anyway, moving on. The next item on the, are there any further questions before I do that? Okay. The next item on the agenda is new business. No? Did I skip something? What? Oh, the minutes. Oh, I skipped the minutes. Sorry. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the August 18th 2015 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. Now, moving forward, the next item on the agenda is new business.
At this time, I would like to ask that we move the entire agenda in its entirety this evening.
Wonderful. Okay. Moved by Mr. Delahanty, seconded by Mr. Flagler Mitchell. Any comments, discussion? There being none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item carries. Okay. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Yes.
Madam Chair, I also would like to echo with the legislator and say it's been an honor to serve with you. I've worked with you over the past 12 years, and I certainly do appreciate your leadership and you being a mentor to me, and as a relatively new legislator, appreciate your professionalism and your counsel. So you certainly will be missed on this committee, and we certainly will miss you in the legislature as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Well, before we get to the final gavel, I also like to, okay, you want to say something, President?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay.
I would like to echo the legislators before me and saying that, you know, you have been the chair of this committee for as long as I can remember. And I want to say that, I want to say a heartfelt thank you to you. And it has been an honor of mine to serve with you these 11 years, 7 months, 3 days, whatever it is. But I'm going to miss you, Mary, and you did a great job on this committee. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thank you. And to all of you, I thank you for your patience with me, and sometimes a little bit absent-mindedness. And, you know, I run here from school, you know, that pace of middle school, and my grades are due at 12 a.m. So, and I don't have them in yet, but they'll get done. In any case, I want to thank you for the education. Having been on this committee, you know, as an educator, it was just perfect, and I felt like I've learned so much. When anyone ever asks me about my experience as a legislator, I tell them it's a free education. I mean, it's not free. I mean, we did a lot of work, but I'm saying, you know, we can't even imagine, you know, the realm that it extends, and the fact that we've seen so much growth in our parks, with new parks and all kinds of events and bringing families together and concerts and new pavilions. We had our first grandbaby's first birthday party Saturday in the Thomas Grasso not pavilion, but you know, anyway, the center. I can't think of a word. And it was just magnificent. It was impeccable, and everyone was just so pleased. And you know, we mentioned the museum, the variety of exhibits, and our library, and what a party we had that one New Year's, remember? And it was, I mean, really, all the things that people don't even think about. Okay, well, I mean, we were up on the roof. I was throwing my suit. Anyway, I'll stop. But I love you all. Okay, I'm done. And I just hope you turned off the things. Okay, thank you. There being no further other matters, the November 17, 2015 meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Recreation and Education Committee will be announced. Thank you, everyone.